Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another TPR Informer video. Today I will be giving my thoughts on two of the three new returning houses to Halloween Horror Nights 2020, and those two include La Llorona from HHN 4 Roblox and Halloween 2 from HHN 3 Roblox. If you have not already seen, I have made a video ranking the other 7 Halloween Horror Nights houses, including the returning house Jack Presents Monsters and Mayhem. And that video will be pinged above as well as linked in the description down below. So basically in this video I'm going to expand on that with these two houses, give my full thoughts, then at the end of talking about each house I will give my score out of 10 of that house, and at the end I will show you where it ends up in my rankings overall. So to jump right into it, the first house out of these two that we got after Jack Presents Monsters and Mayhem is La Llorona from HHN 4. So La Llorona is based on the 2013 La Llorona house at the real life HHN, as well as loosely based off of the Curse of La Llorona movie from 2018. And I actually really enjoyed this house. I thought it was a really fun house, and it was a pretty simple story to follow for me, and it definitely laid the groundwork easily to follow for most people. I loved how smooth it went from scene to scene, and I especially loved the opening sequence we got in the church. I really loved all the different theming that we got in there, and as I always say, I really love these sort of church backgrounds where we lead up to the front as we follow and look into the church, which we have seen a lot, especially with Graveyard Madness and I believe Paranormal Activity over at Fright Nights. And then going into it, all the jump scares were also really good. None of them really made me jump out of my seat, but I definitely was expecting like the one we got from the statue. And yeah, I really enjoyed most of the jump scares, even though they didn't make me jump out of my seat. So then moving on, there were also a lot of spectacle stuff that I really liked. A lot of the blue color tones worked really well in this house, and we definitely, we got to see a lot of La Llorona, which was really cool. Especially when we had that fog sequence with the sort of turquoise blue or teal blue color. I really loved how they did that. That was definitely really cool. And then we got to see La Llorona as we went through that fog. I really enjoyed seeing that. And then as we went through after that, I really enjoyed the whole sequence with the slaughterhouse. I haven't really seen the movie or know the story, but it seemed like we had some sort of horse villain, which I thought was really cool. The jump scares with that were all right. And then the ending sequence, of course, I really loved, which the ending sequence definitely stepped up the house for me as well. The house parts were kind of bland, but once we got to the end, I really loved it. It kind of blew me away with all the writing on the wall, and it was sort of black light, and the blue light sort of radiated the room. Saw La Llorona there sitting on the bed. It was a pretty good ending in my opinion. I really overall did enjoy this maze, though it may not be as sort of up to par with some of the houses we expect now. I think it is pretty much almost there to that level, and I definitely thought the story was easier to follow and better than the Graveyard Madness house that we got this year. So overall, I would give La Llorona a 7.3 out of 10. So now moving on over to the third returning house we got this year, and the second one in this video that we are going to talk about, and that is Halloween 2 from HHN Roblox 4. HHN Roblox 3. So out of all of the Halloween Horror Nights, this is the one house that I have been wanting to see return for a long time, because I really love Halloween and Halloween 2 specifically, and I was really excited to see a maze based off of it, and I was so happy to see it return. Unfortunately, I think I set my expectations a little too high, and I was slightly disappointed leaving this house the first time, but I gave it a second chance because I knew that this house is 3 years younger than these houses. I know the development isn't going to be as good as we expect now, but upon going through it again, I really did enjoy it. There are actually 2 jump scares going through it for a second time that caught me totally off guard, the biggest scares probably out of the entire event. But besides that, most of the jump scares were pretty predictable. I found most of them very predictable. I did enjoy the hospital sequences. Obviously, since the movie is mostly set in a hospital, and that hospital isn't too detailed, you can't expect much detail when it comes to that. But I think they could have substituted some of the stuff and added in some stuff from earlier in the movie, if you have seen Halloween 2, where they are not in the hospital. Just to add a little bit more substance to it, which, when we get to the end, is really where it steps it up for me and definitely got its ranking up for me in particular. So the ending, I really, really enjoyed, where we had sort of these glowing pumpkin heads that were straight out of the movie poster for Halloween 2. And you have Mr. Sandman playing in the background, and it is just a really, really cool scene, and then you're expecting, you don't know what's really going to happen, and then these pumpkin heads jump out at you. I thought it was a very simple scene to make, especially at the time, but it is a really, really cool effect that I've really not seen that much in that many Roblox houses and mazes so far that I've seen this year or in past years. And then, of course, you get the giant pumpkin head, which you walk in, that is also seems to be straight out of the movie poster, which is really, really cool. Those two sort of things definitely stepped up the house for me. They're really simple things, simple tricks, but they are very unique when it comes to these houses. And then, of course, you get a couple Michael Myers scares after that. And overall, the house, I was expecting a little more. First time going through, I gave this house a 5 out of 10. But going through it again, I give this house a solid 6.5 out of 10. If we are comparing it, if I were to go at Halloween Horror Nights 3, I would have probably given this house around a 7.8 out of 10, just because the quality wasn't up to par with what we have now, so that's kind of what is expected. But up to the houses that we have this year, I would have to be generous in giving it a 6.5 out of 10. So with that, I'm going to move into my ranking. Again, if you have not watched my ranking video, go and watch that. Go and watch that right now, and then come back to this video. But without further ado, I will reveal my rankings. And overall, to start, Halloween 2 definitely comes in last place. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but yes, Halloween 2 comes in 9th place for this year. And that is just simply because the quality wasn't up to par back at Halloween Horror Nights 3, which is to be expected, but it was definitely a fun and welcomed return this year. And then following up with La Llorona. This may surprise some of you, but I'm going to put it at that number 6 spot, right above of Slaughter Cinema, Graveyard Madness, and Halloween 2. And I think that just mainly comes down to that this is just a pretty solid maze all around. The things that it definitely came down to was that beginning church sequence that I really, really loved. You can definitely tell the detail put into that, as well as I love that fog sequence, the teal fog sequence, and the ending scene with La Llorona on the bed and the wording on the wall. Overall, you can tell there's a lot of heart put into it, and the accuracy is pretty good when it comes to the 2013 house, real life house, compared to it. And overall, it definitely is not the best house we've ever seen from Halloween Horror Nights Roblox or from this year, but it overall is a pretty solid house to land it at that number 6 spot. And with that, before you all go, I wanted to recommend you all go check out my good partner over at Seabass Creations. Seabass Creations creates some awesome content revolving around theme parks. Right now he has a podcast going called Entertainment Central Podcast, which is just a weekly podcast all about theme parks. And he does anything from Universal Studios to Walt Disney World to Busch Gardens and beyond. And he's looking to expand even farther into the theme park world. So if you guys are interested in that, I would definitely go check him out. He also designed the TPR Informer one-on-one studio, if you did not know. He has helped with a couple of videos in the past, and he has also helped us here at TPR Informer name what our new channel name should be once we rebranded about 2 months ago. So he's definitely helped out a lot. I know he would appreciate you guys going to check out his content. So his channel will be linked in the description down below. Also, if you guys are interested in picking up the TPR Informer Limited Edition Halloween Horror Nights Roblox 2020 t-shirt, That is going away next week. Once Halloween Horror Nights ends, it will be going off sale. So if you guys are interested in picking that up, that will also be linked in the description down below. And with that, I would like to thank you all for watching, and have an amazing day.